We do have to hit the big breaking news in the NBA last night, and this was a total bummer, like while the football game's going on, to get this news that Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic, who had been having like an insane start to the season, averaging 29 points, 9 boards, 6 dimes in 5 games this season for the Orlando Magic. Banchero going to be out at least 4 to 6 weeks. Will be reevaluated after 4 to 6 weeks with a torn right oblique. Magic, really fun team thus far this season. We're the 5 seed in the East last year. Took the Cavs to 7 games in the opening round series in the East. So now, what do we do with the Orlando Magic? And we can have a conversation about the Magic's game tonight against the Cavs coming up in a little bit. And we'll be betting that game for sure in the first game without Banchero. But Femi, how does this impact award markets and such now with Banchero out 4 to 6 weeks for the Magic? What's impacted? What do people need to know?
Yeah, a couple of them quickly jump to mind, that being most improved player and coach of the year. We'll start off with most improved player because I think it's a shorter conversation. We talked about this earlier this week, and Banchero's price was down to 14 to 1 to win that award. And I came on here and said that he likely cannot win because he's been a rookie of the year and he's already made an all-star. He made the all-star team in his second season. You don't win most improved player as an all-star. It's usually a first-time all-star. Think Tyreek Maxey last year, Lauri Markkanen a couple years ago, first-time all-star makes the leap to making that team, and then they were rewarded with most improved player. So for me, as somebody that wants to bet into most improved player and will still bet into this market, I'm a little bit disappointed because I think Banchero getting hurt sort of prevents people from keeping this price at 14 to 1, 12 to 1 when he probably couldn't win the award. Now he's removed from that market because he's not going to play the requisite amount of games. So it kind of takes a guy that couldn't win, who was near the top of the board, takes him off of it. So unfortunately, that sucks the value out of some of the other guys. So that's a market that I think over the next week or so, we should be looking at it. Maybe even honestly look at Paolo Banchero's teammate in Franz Wagner. That's a guy that's at a big price for most improved player. That could be a guy that is sort of a beneficiary of this. Paulo obviously has a high usage, being the guy on that team. Well, those shots got to go somewhere. Franz Wagner has been working on his three-pointer all season. He makes a couple more threes than he did last season. Maybe Franz Wagner can all of a sudden climb up to that 24, 25 points per game kind of a scorer and then ultimately win the award. Coach of the year, I think Jamal Mosley, even with Paulo healthy, was up against it a little bit. The Magic did win 47 games last year, and you probably needed to win 55 plus for Orlando to provide us with a coach of the year candidate in Jamal Mosley. Now with Banchero out for at least 6 weeks, that's when they're going to reevaluate him. Probably going to be a couple months would be my guess. I don't see how the Magic get to 55 plus wins with Banchero missing that much time. So Mosley, who was 14 to 1 right now to win coach of the year, I think he's up against it. That's somebody that you could probably cross off to win this award, barring some sort of quantum leap by Franz Wagner and Mo Wagner and the rest of the Magic crew. But right now, I would not bet Mosley. I don't think many people are going to bet Jamal Mosley, as we have other candidates right now that fit the profile a little bit better and have a higher potential to actually get near a 1 seed later on this season.
Like my guy, Kenny Atkinson, now the co-favorite to be coach of the year along with J.J. Redick. Atkinson at 7 to 1. Is Franz Wagner 40 to 1 most improved player a bet?
I think it is a bet. I do. Franz is somebody that I bet last year.
Hold on. Because you said you think it's a bet. None of this think nonsense. Are we standing on business here?
What are we, Woody Johnson and not thinking?
Is it, is it a bet? Is Franz Wagner a bet? Because I'm going to bet it. 40. I liked your breakdown. Should we bet Franz Wagner?
So let me say this before I tell you the actual verdict. Franz Wagner, someone I bet last year, couldn't make a damn shot from beyond the arc. And he is very Jekyll and Hyde, up and down from night to night. But I do think the potential is there to where it is a bet at 40 to 1 for him to be the most improved player. He no longer has to compete with Paolo Banchero to be the guy that's hey, is it your turn? Is it my turn? He's a little bit passive. Get that out of the window now. They need him to be a dude. But Franz Wagner, 40 to 1, has the runway to win this award. It is a bet at that price.
Great. I'm going to put that in during the break. And by put it in, I mean I'll have to text someone to do it because I can't bet awards in New York State. Yippee. Okay, great job by Femi breaking it down. Mosley, for what it's worth, 14 to 1 right now to win Coach of the Year in the NBA.